All right, DJ Nubis.
And DJ Neko.
Here with the mighty Sci Fi Sentry. How are you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. Just feeling a little tired, sore, and I mean, I'm just really ready to finally do this interview with you guys on the Metal Tavern radio podcast.
We've been trying to do it for the last 20 minutes, and it was a bit of a.
Technology, is Mercury in retrograde?
Oh God, here we go.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, but I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for you guys having me on your channel and on your podcast.
Well, we're glad to have you. We're big fans of your channel. You as a person, of course, a fellow Kaiju fan as I am. We'll get into a lot of that. First, as we're going to let people know, we do these Q&As with YouTube personalities such as yourself to try to get to know the guys behind the channel. So that's why we're doing it now with you, Sci Fi Sentry. So first, just kind of give a little bit of background. What made you want to do YouTube channel?
To start, honestly, I just started doing YouTube and making content out of just the sheer fact that I had nothing to do. I had just retired from my profession, which was training and teaching MMA, boxing, competing, and everything, and a lot of injuries, a lot of past just injuries that I had just really put me in that state of mind where I had to retire. I had to literally retire. The doctor said either you retire, or you're going to either be in a wheelchair, or you'll have brain damage, or you'll have neck problems for the rest of your life. And I said yeah. So it was kind of a bad, dark place for me. So when I started doing YouTube and I started making content on stuff that I really love, like kaijus and Marvel, Gundam, Japanese cultural anime series, movies, and that's how it all started. I just it just came out of nowhere. Something I never planned to do. It's just something that I just I had nothing to really do, so I just started doing it, and I just kept going with it. And I thought, I'll do it for like 3 months, and now I'm going on what, 2.5 years already.
So I hear that your fists are registered weapons. Could you tell us a little bit about your martial arts experience?
Well, well, I mean, the crazy part being, actually, I am registered. So
look at I was just joking. Look at you.
Yeah,
that's a big deal.
Yeah, I am registered, to be honest, but also since when I became a coach, because you have to go through the process of going through USA Boxing, and once I got certified by the state as a coach, they do a background, and they found out that I had been doing boxing since 1997. So they were like, yeah, you know what? Remember, just as a coach, you cannot partake in any kind of outside fighting or any outside violence and stuff like that, because I can get arrested and I can go to jail.
Wow.
So it is,
But me of beginning of Con Air with Nicolas Cage's character.
Yeah, it's something that I've always been a very active person. I've been doing boxing since '97. I started wrestling when I was 15, and my cousin was, I think, already almost. He was a purple belt in karate, and I couldn't afford it because my parents, we came up from very humble beginnings, and he was in karate, but I wanted to get in, but my parents couldn't afford it, so I had to do wrestling and boxing. So he would teach me. He was the one teaching me behind the scenes, and he taught me for about 2 years. So I knew about martial arts since, Bruce Lee when I was like 6 years old, and Chuck Norris, and then Van Damme, and then, it's like Steven Seagal. I can't stand that guy, so I'm not even gonna go into it with him. but that's how it all just started for me, and gradually, I still was always a geek, but I was like one of those geeks that would play sports, and I did all kinds of stuff and all that stuff. So yeah, that's how it pretty much came into light about and then teaching. Well, that just came naturally, and I did teaching for about 8 going on 8 years, 5 with MMA, and I got my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. Took me 2 years to get my blue belt in jiu-jitsu. So, and I was supposed to compete in 2005, But that's when my lower back and shoulder and my neck injury just really came out of nowhere, and that's how I had to retire, and that's how I stopped.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've been noticing on like your, when we talk in the dojo group and stuff, you have a very strict, like, food regimen and diet. Oh wait, wrong one. Yeah, so I've been noticing you've been posting a lot of the food you're eating and stuff, which some of it looks really good. Now, granted, pizza's good, but I was just kind of messing with you there with that one.
No problem, man. I mean, hey, you gotta cheat. I mean, I cheat all the time. I mean, it's not a. I mean, when you have that mentality of training, because I mean, I do it like I train 5 days a week and I work out, and people are like, "Oh, you just work out with weights." I'm like, no. If you were to see me train, like, people were to see me train about, because I do about hour workout and I still put lightweight lifting into it after that, and then I do a night workout and I go running at night, and I run about 3 miles, twice a week at night. So it's eating. It's good for me to eat whatever I want, but I mean, there's times where I overdo it, especially during the holidays. I mean, I ballooned up to like 238 pounds in less than a month, and then now I got back down to 220 to 225.
That's the thing. I think, like, as I get older, it's so much easier to put the weight on, but getting it off is a bear. It's like so.
Oh yeah, it sucks, man.
So since you do all this training, there's been a rumor going around on Facebook that you eat like Goku. Can you please deny this?
Oh man, it's. I mean, I don't like to really show all the food that I like to cook, because if people just get jealous and start telling me stuff, and they start saying like, "Hey Daniel, how come you do this and you never send me some, or why can't you, why can't you FedEx me some food, or how come you can't, special delivery or expedited delivery and stuff?" And I'm like, because I understand, because a lot of people on it. Well, I don't know if you know, we do share a lot of the same friends on Facebook. And a lot of them post a lot of food, man. And sometimes I'm like, I think they're just doing it to get back at me, or they're just doing it to, because a lot of rub it in my face. Oh, well, Daniel works out all the time, and he doesn't have to worry about gaining weight and losing weight and all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, but there's times where I just want to not do nothing. I just want to sit. I just want to sit. I want to sit or lay down while eating pizza, laying down, watching either Godzilla, Marvel, Gundam. So yeah, but it's funny sometimes, man. I mean, I post stuff. Sometimes I do post stuff just to see what people say, see what they'll do. But yeah, it's funny, man. It's one of our friends, especially Trio, Lone Wolf Ronin, and
all that thought that he posts. I'm like,
yeah, man. I mean,
he makes it.
Yeah. I mean, I would love to. I mean, I've already been to his house. I met his mom. I met his mom. Such one of the nicest ladies in the world. I mean, she said, anytime I'm ready to go, she'll try to make pho. And he's there. He lives there. It's his mom. So he's so lucky, man. He's blessed that he can actually eat homemade pho. And I have to go to the little shop over here, like 5 minutes away, and wait and buy like, $17 for freaking one little bowl of.
I know. I found it close to us, and so it's like the best that I found around here. But you have to delivery, and then you have to they don't even do delivery. You have to do through like Grubhub or DoorDash or something. So
yeah.
Go pick it up, and I'm like, but they put everything separate, so it's like this gigantic bag, and then you kind of like assemble it yourself. And I'm like,
yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, but they got some great like bowls and stuff, like just like rice and stuff like that. It's so good.
I
believe it.
I also like to cook. I'm kind of at war with my kitchen right now, and I'm like, that's the next thing we're doing in this house is remodeling the kitchen, because I have like a countertop this big. So I'm gonna start posting some of the stuff that I come up with some good stuff, man. Like, we're trying to eat better and exercise more, and I'm like, all right, how do I make green beans exciting? Little things like that, where I'll just start adding spices to it, or garlic, or just kind of like just different instead of green beans. Or how can I make a nice big meal that'll fill us up, but it not be like so terrible for you? And I think I've been doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I believe it. I believe it.
Now, speaking of the personalities, you recently went to go visit Samurai, Fat Blood, and I know Treo and D Fanatic were there. How did that go? Like, I saw the pictures.
Yeah, I saw the videos and stuff too. Yeah.
It's, you know, it was, well, for me, it's to me it's very kind of like, normal. It's normacy, but it's not until you actually meet them in person that you're like, oh wow, this, I met probably the biggest inspirations for me making a channel. And I'm just like, wow, man, I met him and everything. And you have to really keep your composure, and you gotta be like, yeah, man, you know what, these people were the ones that actually gave me that inspiration to make my own channel. So I was like, hey man, it was just, you don't think about it. Sometimes you're thinking about it, and then once you're there hanging with them, it's like they're like humble everyday people. They're just, we have the same interests. They like movies. I mean, when we went to Frankensons, it was like all of us were distracted, even Samurai and Candace. Everybody was like I was like that. My face was just straight for like at least 2 minutes when I was looking at everything.
Staring at everything.
Yeah, and
it looked like they had some great collectibles and toys and.
Yeah, and it's
all toys.
Yeah, they're action figures.
Yeah, but they were, but honestly, Samurai and Candice, some of the most down to earth people, very just they're just like I said, they're very humble, like very nice people that, just they like, especially Samurai and Candice, they like what they do, and they I think it was one of them. I think Lady Fabula said that the fact that, say, me starting my own channel and me starting my own live streams with the Movie Dojo Army, it's like, that's what makes it makes it worthwhile for them, that people like me who are big fans of them, and they're my inspiration, that I start my own live stream. It's like that's what they get out of it. They get they get that feeling of, wow, they don't think so, I'm pretty sure, but they do inspire people. So
yeah, they're so humble, and I know that like that's the same for us when it comes to like either hanging out with you on your streams or Samurai, and like it's a fun experience for us. We're still in kind of wow with just that. So I'd probably be the same way if I met Candace and Preston. I'd be like, wow, man, you guys are like the thing, and they're like so humble. So
they're
it's
like,
like
we're just people. And it's funny because like Preston and I, and like even Candace, like we'll send messages to each other, just like random things that we find funny. And I'm like, it's weird how you make friends nowadays. Like when you're a kid, you're just thrown into a classroom, and it's like figure out who you like. But now we're adults, and you go to work, and it's like you're not guaranteed to like everybody you work with. And I travel so much, so it's really good for him because I'm going to be leaving probably in like 3 or 4 weeks, and I'll be gone for a couple of months. So it's good that he can like expand and meet friends. And I hated, like when I first started traveling, I'm like, I hate that he's home, and like again, there's not a lot going on, and most of his friends like don't even live around here. So now that he's really active in the community, it's kind of nice. And he's got you guys, he's got you especially. I know you two always talk.
Yeah, I brought up the other day how like just for her, even growing up, like she was active in sports and stuff, but she also had this nerd side to her. And it wasn't really until the internet and doing stuff like this that she's like, oh wow, I do have family out there.
There's people that like me. And it was hard. It was hard, like for me, because I grew up and I was a dancer, and I did like dance competitions and stuff. So I'm like not the ideal dance. I mean, I'm not saying I was fat at all. I thought I was huge because I'm not like the ideal dance body. I'm sorry, I have a boobs and a butt. That just is what came with me with puberty. But it didn't with a lot of these girls, and that's why they were more successful at dancing. But I also was nerdy, and I only had like my handful of friends, and not even they really liked a lot of the kung fu and Godzilla, and that kind of just became my thing. And then I met a guy that I was dated for years, and he liked all that stuff too. So it's like, there's people out there, but now that we can all like communicate with each other, and it's just, It may be. When we went to play racquetball, I kind of like we go play racquetball and we'll just chat in the car while we're driving, and I was like, it's so amazing. Like we are normal people, and you kind of got ostracized sometimes when you're a little not in the cool clique, and whatever was popular at the time, maybe you didn't like it, but I don't know. That's just kind of what makes it special to me.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I didn't even know. I mean, I knew there were some people, especially girls, who were Godzilla fans. But once I became a YouTuber, I was blown away. It's like, I can't believe there's so many people, especially women, that are Godzilla fans or into anime, into Marvel. And once I met a few girls, especially from the Godzilla community, who have a bigger collection of Godzilla figures than I do. I mean, like freaking. I mean, not just one. I only have a rack. They have a freaking room full of nothing but.
This isn't yours.
I mean, I would have taken most of it if they was. I would have taken most of it if even the smallest one like this was $40. I mean,
wow.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, but yeah, it's very. For me, it was very surreal to find out that there's a lot of, especially women, who are, big time Godzilla fanatics, and that's how I started. That's how I had getting a connection with Samurai and Candace, because I started messaging them. They started seeing some of my videos about how talking about Godzilla and like especially all the movies that they're into, and Godzilla is what really actually brought us together, and have that connection, even though it was a small connection at first. It's like that's how it started with Godzilla, and then I saw Samurai's collection, which is insane, and it's like miscellaneous, not just Godzilla, but everything, Deadpool, DC, all the posters, and I'm like, wow, man! Like I thought I had a big collection. It's like, no.
Oh yeah, me, I'm like, I got nothing compared to half of the people I talk to.
The stuff that we select though is very, I don't want to say unique, but he found these silk screened posters, so they're actual fabric that are all of the Godzilla
King of
the Monsters, and that's what we have on our wall behind our two recliners. Is like and they're huge, so we got like nice frames for them. And then we had this one picture I found is like a Van Gogh style, but it's Godzilla Starry Night, and like I try to look for like things that are not like so common, so that we can definitely. And now I want to get him a nice like wall display case, because he's starting to get more collectibles, and I have a curio cabinet, and that's getting filled up with all of our random collectibles, and I want to get another one because I'm like, we have a small house, but I don't want it to look like we're hoarders.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I love collecting things though, and he clearly, you should down here if you saw like a 360, it's like just nothing but cool posters, especially metal posters and stickers and random movie posters, and that's kind of like what you want to make your place feel like yourself, not like I'm not a Better Homes and Garden person. I want my house to look like I like it.
Yeah, I get certain parts of the house that she can run, but then there's other parts I'm like, this is my space. I want this.
I really don't care. I'm not like a some people that I know have houses where I'm afraid to make it dirty. Like I'm afraid to even sit down and eat. Like, but me, I'm like, just put your feet on the coffee table. I really don't care at all.
Wow. Well, I mean, you're just one of those people that's very you're very just lenient with how you are with your house, and I mean, look at, just like you mentioned, look at all the posters in the back. I mean, I wish I had posters like that, especially of Brandon Lee right there. I mean, that was my hero too. I mean, that was my hero, growing up, and people were like, hey, who's Brandon Lee? Like, you only know who the Crow is. You only know him by the image. It's like, I knew Brandon Lee since I was 9 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, those posters are great. I mean, if I had the room, I would
running out.
Get more posters.
We're running.
I would.
He's starting to go up the wall.
Yeah. So, what do you think of the Harley Quinn back here?
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's great, man. I mean,
we're not great. Don't. we've moved past Harley Quinn. All right, we're moving.
I'm playing around because our last episode of our podcast will release next week. She got a little heated because she's so tired of Harley Quinn. It's so hilarious because she's really ripping into me about it, and it's just funny. I knew what your response would be because we're guys, but it was just kind of funny.
He's obsessed.
I'm not
Harley
obsessed.
Quinn.
No.
Obsessed.
I can't help it. The cartoon I got into recently, but it's been out for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the character, not Margot Robbie.
Well, see, I feel bad for her because I think her version of Harley Quinn is the worst version, but that's what everybody sexualizes.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst version of Harley Quinn. The cartoons are way better. And we're even watching it, and I'm like, this is way better than what Margot Robbie got in all of her movies.
But to be fair, though, aside from the Suicide Squad, the other movies in DC have been kind of shitty anyway, just with writing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But anyway, what was that? Okay, so I'm going to do this because I'm going to ask you about, did you finally see Dog Soldiers?
Yes, I did. and I bought the Blu-ray, and I bought the Blu-ray
really?
special edition. Yeah.
Yeah, he made his best of last year. Like after our discussion on his channel, and I was like, I hadn't seen Dog Soldiers. I was like, I did a John Travolta thing, like what?
I didn't see it until I met him either, and it's freaking awesome. Like, it's interesting. It's a good story, and the way that they let it all play out just kind of caught my attention.
It's
quickly.
just one of those cheesy werewolf movies, but it's so good, so bad, so good.
No, not cheesy in my mind, man. It was
cheesy at all.
It was unexpectedly, for me, it was unexpectedly enjoyable, and like even the actors, and I mean, it looked like in the movie they can easily just think like, okay, well, I'm in a not a second-rate movie, but a very independent, lower budget movie, but they made it work in every single way. Plus the story, the way. Oh my god, man! I'll just mention one of the funniest parts, man. I have to say it because I know it's one of your favorite movies, man. Hit me! And oh my god, I forgot what he said. I don't know if we called him a pussy, or I don't know if we called him something or whatever that. And he knocked the shit out of him. I was laughing my ass off, dude. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that guy who and I forget his actor's name. I feel so bad, but he plays the captain or general or something, and he's also in Equilibrium with Christian Bale. He's like a very good actor. I've seen him in a number of things. So seeing him in something like that, back then at the time was I think 2000 or 2001. Hell yeah. But yeah, that movie has a lot of funny parts. That one dude who's the more excitable one that goes out and runs around trying to attract the werewolves, like he's a great character too.
Yeah.
Everyone's looking for weapons. He's like, he's got his machine gun. He's like, I'm ready. I'm sold.
Right. Oh yeah, man. But yeah, thank you for the recommendation. And I was like, I gotta watch it, man, because I'm never gonna live it down. And DJ Nubis just keeps telling me that I'm either gonna watch it or not. He's like, dude, come on, you haven't watched it, and that's why I put it on my best of 2021, man, because that was hilarious, dude. Everybody was like, I mean, especially.
My response, of course, I can't outdo Jad because he's like freaking out over Armageddon. I just thought that was funny as hell too.
Oh yeah, that was funny, man. That was funny though. But yeah, I agree, man. I thank you for the recommendation, and I finally have it on Blu-ray.
That's good. What else we got going here? Okay, well, speaking of figurines, how many do you have? And then, like, do you have any that are kind of like your prize collection?
I think it would have to be the Godzilla collectibles statues that I have. Those gotta be probably the ones I covet the most. I mean, I like all of the ones I have, but I think I overdid it a little bit with the Marvel Legends ones.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have kept a lot of those in the boxes because I could have sold them for like $150 each.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, there's so many of them, man. I mean, even the Gundams, I have Gundam models. I have
yeah, that's behind him, I think, too.
Is that I can't say?
Like right
Hold on, I gotta
right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, those are just
Gundams.
Now, the thing I'm curious about, because I've seen some of your YouTubes, I'm going to break into the gaming a little bit, and it looks like on the other side there's this wolf.
Oh
What
yeah.
what game is that you're playing? Because I always see you do like streams of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's called it's called Okami Amaterasu, and it's a video game that was made like in 2000. It came out for the PlayStation 2 and the Wii way back then. And it's a game about a wolf. It's a story based on Japanese mythology,
Hmm.
and it's the wolf is considered a sun god. It's a sun goddess. It's a female, but it's considered a sun goddess, and she's I won't go too much into the story because I really love that character and I can go forever. But I'll just say that it's a Japanese based game, and it's very uplifting. It's very family oriented. It kind of like it's one of those games for me that it it brightens up my day if I'm either having a bad day or if I'm going through my ADHD or if I'm going through stuff like that, and it just calms me down. And I don't even have to play for that long. I'll play for about 20 minutes and I'm calm. I get to I can focus, stuff like that. So it's just one of those games that I uh, I found out later on, like later down the years, and then I didn't even know it was released for PlayStation 2 back in 2006, and that's why I just kept with it. And I do little videos on it because like
I was watching one
doing
the other day.
yeah, like doing the whole freaking like doing the whole playthrough is like that's insane, man. That's like I would take me like a month to edit and just put it on YouTube.
Right.
But yeah, it's one of those games that you and the character I really I really felt for the character because it's like I said, it's just uplifting. Amaterasu, um, what do you call it? A being for all that is good and mother to us all. So it's like it's just something I kept with, and I'm not really that much into video games that much anymore. So, but I just play it because it's just something that really calms me down, and it's just one of those
So you
like
got like an emotional connection to this in some ways.
yeah, like it's just it helped me get through a lot of stuff. It helped me get through a lot of stuff, especially when I lost my fur babies, when I lost my dogs, and it was a little bit of a like some therapy, mental therapy.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's real good. But besides that, I'm usually just a roughneck guy that just likes to I just like to hit things. I like to destroy stuff. So
I saw that you destroyed your heavy bag, the chains.
Even all Captain America on and
Just
knocked it into
yeah, but no, yeah, but that's yeah, I love that game. But yeah, like I said, I can go on forever about that game. But that's what I think about it. And as far as collectibles, that's as small as it is, like fuck man, I paid like almost $70 for it. But I mean, it's a rare collectible, and it's like like I said, it's based on Japanese folklore, Japanese Shinto mythology, and I'm very big into Japanese culture. I mean, I have a samurai tattooed on my back. I have a dark samurai tattooed
Oh
on my
wow.
back.
That's really cool.
So it's like I'm very deep into like to Japanese, like even like ways of the samurai, bushido, stuff like that. So
Now I know outside of all the other stuff, which we'll get into pretty soon, but you're also a rock and metal fan. So
oh yeah.
any good stuff you've been listening to lately that's been catching your ear?
Uh, you know what? I've just been really listening to a lot of the older stuff. Like, I don't really, I'm not into. Well, you know what? I really don't listen to the radio that much, and
Me
I
either.
should. Yeah, I should because that's how some you find some new songs when you're listening to the radio. Like when I drive my car and I don't have my phone or I forget my phone, I just put it on. 95.5 KLEQ. And they play some good stuff, but then it's like newer stuff that I don't really get into. I mean, I like Five Finger Death Punch. They're pretty cool, but I mean, I'm more into like the older stuff. And as far as like I know, you're very very like heavy metal enthusiast, bro, like a specialist.
Yeah.
And like I'm like man, like some of the stuff that you like say you post or stuff, or when I watch some of your videos and stuff, or like the CD videos that you guys get, like even the cassettes and the CDs,
Hmm.
that's like I'm like there's stuff I never heard before. I know Lamb of God, I know Napalm Death, I know Deicide, Obituary, Death,
Yeah.
Cannibal Corpse.
Right.
Those are the older stuff that I listened to. Psych Group in the '90s, and I'm old. So I'm an old guy. So like growing up in the '90s, it was like that's what I listened to. And then I got really into industrial music.
Mhm.
Like I got really into industrial. I love Tool, love Ministry, especially Ministry. Man, I love Ministry. Nine Inch
Oh,
Nails.
fine.
Yeah, even Filter when Filter started, they were pretty much industrial, but they lasted the test of time, so they kind of just became like popular music, pop culture music. But there's so many other ones, man. Like KMFDM, I love KMFDM. Um, there was another. I don't know if you ever heard. Have you ever heard of Monster Voodoo Machine?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, like I mean,
The
they
fact-
call it.
Didn't
Go ahead.
they,
I'm sorry.
didn't they have a song on the Crow soundtrack at one point? I might be
No,
thinking
I
then, but
no, I think that was Machines of Living Grace.
yeah, they're
Machines
on
of
it for sure.
Living
Yeah.
Grace. Yeah, and yeah, I mean, what I heard about, I saw Monster Voodoo Machine in 1994
Oh
when they
wow.
came when they came with Marilyn Manson. That was the second time I saw Marilyn Manson because my cousin was a huge fan of Marilyn Manson, and they were all right. They were okay at first, but when I saw this band called Monster Voodoo Machine, and they're like industrial metal, like heavy, dude, like real heavy. And I don't know what happened to them, and I ended up finding their CD, their first CD that they had, and it has this song called what do you call it? What's it called? Man, it's the tip of my tongue. I can't believe I forgot all this stuff, man. I was ready for this podcast,
I
man,
just
and I can't even remember.
I can't remember the song, but I think it was like towards the end of the album itself. But they had a really good track on there that I was always jamming. So yeah,
Yeah,
they're a pretty good band.
Threat by Example. Here you go. It's
Mhm.
called the song is called Threat by Example, and in the background you can hear Anguirus' roar.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that was always cool. So when it comes to like Kaiju and Godzilla, what is your first earliest memory of getting into Godzilla?
I remember that well. I think I was like 5 years old, and we were living in a very small apartment complex, and my dad had just ordered some pizza, and there was a Godzilla Monster Marathon on. I don't remember if it was USA or I don't know if it was TNT or TBS. I think it was TBS at the time, and I was still trying to think about it because back then I was very young, and I'm pretty sure it was Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, but I don't know if. But then again, I'm thinking, what if it was Destroy All Monsters? Because it was one of the movies where a lot of the monsters were there: Rodan, Ghidorah, Godzilla, Mothra. But I don't. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm pretty sure it was the first movie I ever saw was Ghidorah, the three-headed monster, and I was like 5 years old, and that was it. I was hooked.
Yeah, I remember I told her a while back that my first experience was probably around the same age, and my dad would drop me and my sisters off on Saturdays to go see the matinee, and there'd always be like a Godzilla movie or Gamera, and I remember seeing like Godzilla versus Megalon and Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla '74, and I just was immediately entranced and then hooked into it, and was like,
I was a teenager. Like I'm a huge insomniac. I don't sleep much. I don't know how I've survived 41 years with like 4 hours of sleep almost every night, but I did this like when I was in high school too. And we had cable, but it's nothing like today where you can just go on YouTube or go and stream something. So there's nothing on at 1 a.m. ever.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
And it was always kung fu movies and Godzilla. And that's just, I kind of became a fan by accident because I would fall asleep to watching kung fu movies and Godzilla almost every single night while I was going to high school, and had to be up at 5 a.m. and I'd still like just get like 3-4 hours of sleep. And then Saturdays my parents would always yell at me because I'm sleeping in until noon.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm catching up, and I still do the same thing. I don't know how I got into this pattern. I'm not like a normal person who it's like, oh, okay, I'm tired, I'll go to bed. No, I don't know how to go to bed. Like, I have to be falling asleep for me to go to bed and fall asleep. I don't know.
Yeah, she's always like, Sunday, I got so many things I want to do, and then I like check in on her from work, and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. She's like, I'm just getting up.
I'm
Oh wow.
if it's not so, because we're expecting some nasty weather tomorrow. If it's nasty weather, I am going to work on the house a little bit, I promise. And then I'm in the middle of redoing our bathroom, and it's just
Oh, okay.
it's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's not easy, man. I know that's not easy.
Because we have to use it too, so it's like you have to leave it in a state where you can still use it. So I've been doing like pieces of it, and we're at the home stretch. I just have to finish taking the wallpaper down, patch up the holes, and paint. And I think I'm just so fed up with the whole bathroom. Like, it's like I can use it and it looks pretty good. It can wait another week.
Now, speaking of like the Godzilla fan base and everything, we sometimes see they can be pretty elitist or toxic. How do you feel about all that? Because I know you've seen some of the forums and or like Facebook pages and stuff on YouTube. So how do you really digest that or feel about how that is sometimes? It's like sometimes I think it just gets a little bit too nuts for me. I have to kind of step away from it.
Yeah, I don't bother with it, man. I just I mean it depends, because a lot of the toxicity is based off of cyberbullying, and it's one thing that I can't stand is cyberbullying or bullying in general.
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm the kind of guy that has to be like, okay, Daniel, don't say nothing, don't put a comment, don't say nothing, because I will I mean, the way I am, and you guys have already known how I am. I'm a very straightforward person, and if I have something on my mind, and if it's something I don't like or something I don't like about somebody, I'm gonna tell you. And that's why I avoid like all the toxic talk, and because the Godzilla community could be fucking brutal, man.
Like, yeah, you wouldn't expect it, because like we know like Star Wars and shit like that gets kind of crazy, but then you get into Godzilla and you're like thinking this is probably the easiest fucking genre where people should really just love the monsters, because it's always cheesy. But man, people just
God
get
forbid
nuts.
if you say you like Shin Godzilla, you're just gonna get like eviscerated.
I mean, the only one that deserves shit is 98 Godzilla, but let's be fair.
That's not, that's kind of its own thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's not really like,
I can't even really hate too much on that one. I don't really like it that much, but it's all Godzilla in the end. So
yeah, so I mean, well, like I'll just add a little more on that. Like when it comes to the Godzilla community, sometimes, man, there's just some ridiculous shit that people say, and like I tell people, like like when people like I'm a really big Rodan fan, and a lot of people like to shit on Rodan, and especially back since the Showa era, but I mean, and there's a lot of other people that bash on Godzilla and on anything Godzilla in general, but like for me, I'm like, bro, I love the character. I love Godzilla as a metaphor, because it was a metaphor for what happened in Hiroshima. But remember, man, it's just a character.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people like, oh, Godzilla versus Kong. Oh, Godzilla can beat Gamera. This, I mean, they get really into it, man. They get like, and I'm like, dude, it's entertainment. It's a character. I know. I love the character. I love what Godzilla stands for, what Godzilla was as a metaphor, because my mother was born in 1954.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and she's a Godzilla fan. So it's like, that's the thing. Like, people get so caught up in the drama when it comes to the Godzilla community and how toxic it is, that they get really emotional. And I don't care if people are watching the Godzilla fans. Like, I don't give a shit. Come at me. Tell me whatever the fuck you want. I don't give a shit. Yeah, like, you know what? But
his channel is great, because he's like, I don't give no fuck. Keeping it real. I love that.
yeah, but I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not being tough. I'm not no better than anybody else. I'm just saying that, remember, like, it's entertainment. They're characters. It's just like Marvel. They're characters. It's like you said, Star Wars, and they get like, Star Wars can be some brutal motherfuckers too. So yeah. So that's why, but that's why I just stay away from it. And I mean, like I said, I try to tell, some people that I know that, remember, they bash on this and that. It's just a character, man. It's what you think in here. It's about what you think. It's about how you feel about it. And don't let anybody else tell you, like, hey, man, oh, Godzilla's this. Dude, blow it off, man. Blow it off. But I know people have a limit, especially me. I know people have a certain limit where they're gonna keep getting so much shit, or they're gonna keep giving them crap for Godzilla and this and that. Nobody ever gives me shit. Nobody ever tells me anything about it, even if I have an opinion on it. But like even Godzilla '98, I like the design. I've told people I like the design. I mean, if they called him, if they gave him another name, I would be like, hey, that's a badass movie. You know, I would have been like if they gave him another name. But I don't really bash on it because it's like, you know, I mean, I like a lot of people have said, man, people are gonna agree to disagree, but you don't have to make a big freaking political catastrophe about it. You know how some people get, you know. So that's what I think about how, you know, that's how I think how, you know, the toxic parts of, or you know, the toxicity in every community, especially Godzilla community, Star Wars, Marvel, Gundam, you know, even Gundam can be freaking, they can be like horribly brutal too when it comes to the fan base. And look what happened with Cowboy Bebop.
Oh yeah.
I didn't
You know
even
what I mean?
watch the live action one yet. Because I guess I've been tainted by everybody like shitting on it, and I'm like, now I don't want to watch it because I'm like, what if I do enjoy it? Does it mean that I'm not enjoying something? Because I don't know. But you don't want somebody to just steal your joy over something that you love.
Yeah, the way I look a lot of times with stuff is, and you know, some people say, well, why wouldn't you give it a shot if, even though you're hearing all these bad things? I said, well, it's not about me not giving something a shot. If Sci Fi Sentry goes and says, I watched this movie, it's not really my thing, or even Samurai, whoever, I take your guys' opinions seriously enough to the point that, like, well, I know what they like, and it's generally what I like. If they don't like it, then chances are I'm not going to like it. I might still check it out for free down the road, but I won't rush out to a movie theater if I think that you guys are being straight up about how you feel about a movie.
Yeah.
Now, as far as like other people on the web, you know, who I don't know, if they're saying it's trash, I'm like, well, I'll make that judgment for myself. But you know, there are people I trust with their objective opinions on a movie or series or something. So
yeah, oh yeah.
And I know that you and I agree, because we've talked about this in the past, that Rodan and Mothra deserve their own movies and legendary.
Oh yeah. Yes, definitely. I mean,
really, it is funny about Rodan because of how much he got bitched around in that movie, but
yeah,
he is very badass looking. That's one of the best looks I've ever seen with him. And I would love to see like a solo movie done of him because he is a pretty badass creature.
Yeah, like I said, that's the thing, man. I mean, like, it bothered me a little bit what people are saying about, you know, about Rodan, how he did get, you know, a little, you know, he got bitched around. But I mean, come on, man, he didn't back down from Ghidorah, and he was beating the crap out of Mothra.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, you know, and people were like, you know, that's why, like, when people would say that, I'm like, I don't say anything about that. Like I said, it's a character, but it's a character that you really enjoy. It's something that you like, just like Neko said, you know, why, you know, people shouldn't have to just be, you know, so cruel about characters and stuff that you love. And like I said, you guys know, you know, it's mutual. I love Godzilla, man. I totally love Godzilla. Godzilla is a catalyst for my channel. So, you know what I mean? But I mean, like I said, some people take it to the extreme where they're like totally fighting over what happened in certain movies, even the movies from the Showa era. And I'm like, man, it's a movie, man. But yeah, but as far as the character goes, the movie, to me, I loved it. Even though, you know, it was, you know, people said that it was, you know, it was a failure. It still made over $380 million. You know, it didn't make back what it put into, but you know, and then look at the release. Look at the DVD and Blu-ray releases. It made freaking. It made almost like it made almost 90 million. Oh no, not made a million. It made about. I'm over exaggerating. Maybe like, you know, 12 million or like something like that. But it was it was when they released it, when they released the film.
Right.
And you still have a lot of people who are big fans of it. But yeah, man, Rodan and Mothra, dude, I was like, shit, dude. I was like, wow, dude. I'm like, I saw this and like Rodan looked awesome, dude. And he looked badass. And Mothra, they made him all look good.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised with all the looks. Like, I thought the CGI was okay. You have some little issues here and there, but overall,
I enjoyed the monsters more than I enjoyed the people. Like,
well, that's common.
I mean, it just,
yeah. That's normal.
These people are annoying. Show me more monsters.
Yeah, I think that's really the only biggest complaint, even with Candace and her especially, was you only need like maybe 1 or 2 trailers, man. But they start ripping them out like
I know.
time and time.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of dulled it for everybody at that point.
Yeah,
I had been
I
gone
agree.
when it was released. I was out, and I was like, "Wait for me to see it," and he's like, "No." I said, "I'll be home soon. I'll be home in like 2 weeks." He's like, "No, I'll go again and see it." But I was like, "Well, don't ruin it. Don't post anything on Facebook. Don't say anything. Don't ruin it for me." And he's like, "I won't."
Yeah.
He's like, trying to keep me to stay home on opening night. I'm like, that's not happening. I'm going.
I think I was in Hawaii too.
Yeah.
I was in Hawaii and I was flying home, and I'm like, just come on, just.
All right. Well, now, Daniel, we're gonna put you on the spot.
We're gonna play a
because
game.
I have what we call the Kaiju battles. Who would win?
Oh.
I'm gonna pit monsters against each other, and you're gonna tell me who wins and why. Just your
Okay.
opinion, of course.
Okay.
So first up, Gigan versus King Kong. I love picking his brain.
Wow. Well, okay. Can I explain up to my? Can I explain and put details before I make my choice?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Do your thing.
I'll give just like in GBK, I'll give Kong the agility and speed advantage, and he's ferocious too. He could be ferocious if he wants to, but I have to give it to Gigan in a realistic sense. I have to give it to Gigan because he's cybernetic. He's half creature, half cyborg. He's got more weapons. He's sadistic. He's freaking. He's like he's a destroyer. Gigan is just he's got all the weaponry. He's got the edge and stamina because he's, like I said, he's cybernetic. So yeah, I would have to. As much as I love Kong, man, I love Kong and I love his fighting style and everything, but.
I mean, I probably see it because really, with Godzilla, like, him and Kong, we kind of knew Godzilla had the advantage, but Gigan has something that even Godzilla doesn't have. He's the ability to fly. He has more weapons to work with. So yeah, I can totally see that matchup going Gigan's way.
Yeah.
Right. Next up, Mothra versus Biolante.
Ooh. I would just say Mothra has the advantage because she can fly, and she can hit and run, and it depends on which Mothra. If it's the either the Showa, Heisei, Millennium, or the Legendary, I would say if it's the Legendary Mothra, she can go in and sting Biolante a few times on the head, maybe paralyze her or something like that. But it's just but Biolante is just too big, too many advantages. If she gets her hands on Mothra, it's like
over.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Biolante's acid attack is freaking all that. This thing is devastating. So I man, God, that's a hard one, dude. I mean, like I said, I like them both. I mean, I wish we see more Biolante, but
yeah, I love all these monsters, but like I was going through trying to find the best matchups, and I said, Daniel's gonna hate me for this.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't want to hate you, but it's making the cogs in my brain turn, man. And I'm like, you know what? I'll have to give it to Biolante.
Oh, okay. So going back to Biolante there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Next up is your boy Rodan versus Batra.
Rodan.
Didn't even fucking hesitate.
It's like Rodan.
Forget it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I mean, it's just on, like I said, it's based on just on my opinion, but I mean, if it's the legendary Rodan against Batra, he's gonna tear up Batra ugly, man.
Yeah, I think because I know that Rodan in the past, and I think this is probably one of the few Godzilla movies I don't remember well. They call him Fire Rodan, and Legendary played off of that, and that was like crazy because like even when they were Rodan and Mothra were fighting in King of the Monsters, like just touching Rodan would fucking her up bad.
Because he's on fire.
Yeah.
He's
So he's hot cookie there.
And he's got the thermal armor. He's got the thermal armor that, you know, like Batra. I mean, also may have they both. It's gonna be a dogfight. You know, obviously a dogfight. But if Rodan gets his talons and his chop, you know, his chopper on freaking Batra, it's over. And Batra does have those eye lasers, but I mean, like I said, if it's the legendary Rodan has that thermal armor, the hardest rock. I mean, it's like and he's vicious, man. Like that Rodan in King of the Monsters was savage, man. He was freaking savage. So like I said, I got to give it to Rodan, not because I'm being biased, but it's because I just think you know, Rodan will take out. I mean, it's gonna be a fight though. It's not gonna be that easy, but I know Rodan will win.
Okay. Next up this is probably the more unique one, is Titanosaurus versus Megalon.
Titanosaurus. I mean it. I like Megalon too. I mean a lot of people don't. I don't know why, man. A lot of people give a lot of hate to Megalon too, but I mean Megalon does have some advantages because he can fly and because he can burrow into the ground. But I mean, I just think that Titanosaurus, since he's very durable than he looks. Like Titanosaurus looks lot more durable than he looks, and his size is just overwhelming. I mean, his size and his strength. I mean, look what he did to Godzilla in Terror of Megagodzilla, man. He was, you know, I mean, so I think if he could do that to Godzilla, he could beat Megalon.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next matchup actually features a creature that I think is very underrated. I know you agree with this. Is Anguirus versus Kamonga.
Anguirus.
Yeah,
I mean Anguirus.
Armor there.
Sorry, go ahead.
Too much armor there.
Yeah, and I mean, and Kamonga is not very agile. I mean, he could jump, but I mean, he's not quick. He's not I mean, he just has that stinger. But I mean, Anguirus, like I said, Anguirus is he's tenacious. When he's tenacious, he never stops. He keeps fighting, even if he's getting beat. He keeps going. He doesn't. He has that real, like that warrior spirit, that rage. That I mean, it's easy because if he were to just like get Kamonga to stay in one spot or corner him, all he has to do is do that, you know, do the tumble backwards on his carapace and just squash him.
Yep. Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, he's just Anguirus is just very, you know, he's tenacious, never stops. I mean, he has a very powerful bite also. So, I mean, yeah, I also, because I love Anguirus too. Anguirus is one of, you know, my favorites too. So yeah, I just gotta give it to Anguirus.
Yeah, I really love Anguirus. He needs his own movie too.
Yeah, definitely.
The next two matchups are very tough because I really couldn't tell you, so I'm probably like this.
Put it on you.
Okay, yeah, throw it on me, man.
That's what is Space Godzilla versus King Ghidorah.
Wow, that is a tough one, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say, like I said, I put it into the details. Man, Space Godzilla has a lot of freaking weapons too, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's got levitation. He's got telekinesis. He's got that nasty freaking atomic lightning too. He's durable, but so is Ghidorah, man. Ghidorah can fly. They both can fly, but I think Ghidorah has the edge in strength. If it's a legendary Ghidorah, I think he has the edge in strength and ferocity. But
in that kind of matchup, because we saw it in King of the Monsters Legendary that Ghidorah is able to suck the energy out of Godzilla. Do you think it can do that against Space Godzilla as well? I mean, would that give you the impression? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think just to, I mean, because they're both durable. I mean, Godzilla's atomic breath did not do anything to Ghidorah in the King of the Monsters. So I was surprised, you know. So,
right.
I don't think Space Godzilla would do any better. I mean, as far as the the way that Ghidorah just takes all he's got very unless it's physical, like if Space Godzilla turns it into a freaking hand to hand or whatever, I think he might have an edge, but it's so hard, man. Wow, it's a hard one, dude.
Yeah.
I just have to. Shit. I guess because what, like I said, I mean, Space Godzilla hasn't come out in any movies, and if it's going to be based on the Heisei era, I would have to give it to legendary King Ghidorah.
Okay, I think I might lean that way myself. The last one, definitely my two favorite interpretations of Godzilla. Godzilla 2000 versus Legendary Godzilla.
Killing me, bro. Killing me, man. Oh my god, killing me, bro. That's my favorite Millennium. Godzilla 2000 is my favorite Millennium design.
That's certainly my favorite look. Like, I love that look.
Yeah, I have it actually have the X Plus right now. I'll bring it down and show it to you. What do they call it? But yeah, I'll have to give it to Legendary Godzilla because in all reality, Godzilla 2000 is only about 150 feet, and Legendary Godzilla is about 400 feet.
I remember when he came out of the ocean, like, and it would just like cause a tsunami, and I mean, that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I would have to give it to Legendary Godzilla, man. I like them both. I mean, but I mean, just the sheer size. I mean, if it's like a reality standpoint based on Godzilla facts,
right?
I think it would be Legendary would have the advantage, and I mean, but like also Millennium Godzilla 2000, man, his atomic breath is freaking, oh my god.
Well, he did the Orga, man.
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I was like, wow. I was like, I mean, what he did to Orga in the beginning when he was still just a shit.
You're right.
I mean, and that's a different kind of metal, a different kind of alloy from another world, and Godzilla destroyed it and obliterated it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think, oh man, little edge. Legendary Godzilla, little edge, man.
That's why I left the decision up to you.
Yeah, man. I
approved.
I mean, yeah, because I was gonna say no contest, but it's like no. I mean, I have to. I gotta be straightforward and be just the sheer size. I mean, it'll be a firefight, that's for sure. I mean, but it won't be easy. But I mean, just. Yeah, Legendary Godzilla is just too big.
All right, well, that's cool. Awesome. I love that. So before we go, I just want to see what you had coming up in terms of shows or anything you got planned. Just let everybody know what you're planning on doing coming forward.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys already noticed, I have the next volume 6 for the Sci-Fi Society, and we will be discussing the first 15 episodes for the anime Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans. And yeah, it's gonna be me, Jedi Graham Bell, Gojira 851, Michelle Omniblast, and Anthony Jordan. And I was gonna ask you guys, if you guys wanted to join it, but I don't know if you're very, I don't know if you guys are very in tune with Mobile Suit Gundam or anything like that.
I haven't watched it
since like the 90s. Like, I watched the original.
I mean, is that even streaming anywhere or?
Yeah. It's on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, and it's just the first 15. It's just the first 15 episodes. What's up?
It's a new Gundam.
Yeah. It's a newer Gundam. It came out in 2000. It came out in 2015.
Okay.
And it's most Gundam is not, most Gundam is kind of PG-13, but this one's a little more. It's a little bit of everything. It's got gore. It's got assassination, political political problems, and child slavery and stuff like that. And But it's yeah, but you have to be really into it because I mean, like me, I saw it, I was blown away, and I've been wanting to do a stream on it for a long time, but I've always put it on the back burner. So I said, you know what, I just get it out of the way. But we're only doing the first 15 episodes because it's 2 seasons, but they're 25 episodes per
Oh
season.
wow!
Oh, wow.
So
Yeah.
so
Put it up a little bit.
yeah, and I was also going to say, I know you're down to do the Sci-Fi Society volume 7 with Troy and Pathfinder. You guys are welcome to join that stream also.
Yeah, when is that? You're gonna be doing that? Do you know?
Yeah, that one's still to be determined because like I said, I want to like I planned out this one because that's why I got in contact with everybody to see if the 20th would be would be all right because it's a Thursday. So that way, if anybody had to work or anything like that, work around it. So, but as far as Troy and Pathfinder, that one still be determined. So depending on as I get with everybody who's gonna be a part of it, I can make the day, and that way I can set it up so that way it's convenient for everybody.
Right. Yeah, she may be out of town if that happens, but if not, if she is, she'll be here. We'll check it. We'll definitely be a part of that for you.
Yeah, and I know for sure you'll be a part of the Castlevania one. So.
Oh yeah, I love that show, man. It is so good.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I got coming up, and I have a few smaller videos coming up, but I mean those I'm just like taking it like little by little because when I first started I went 4 videos in 1 week, man, and I was like, yeah, I was kind of burned out a little bit after that.
That's a lot of.
Yeah, man. But
Samurai does it like
he's got something almost every day.
I mean, he's been slowing down stuff lately, but man, he's been cranking stuff out.
I don't know, man. I don't know he's Samurai, man. I don't know how he does it, bro. But I mean, I wish I had that kind of drive, man, because I like I said, I just do it. I just do the content creating and the YouTube it's just a hobby. It's just a hobby. And I mean, I didn't think I was going to do it for this long. Like I told you guys, I didn't think I was going to do it for this long. I just thought it was going to be like a 3-month, 4-month thing. And, but it's cool that I got to meet, everybody that I met in the Godzilla community, the MDA, the Moby Dojo Army, Samurai, and Lady Fat Blood, you guys. So that's what I love about it. Just talking about movies and talking about the genres we enjoy, man. That's what I really get out of it. That's what I enjoy the most about it.
Same here. Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for joining us, sir. We much appreciate it, and we look forward to doing this again with you whenever we can. And hang on for a second. I'm gonna say goodbye to you, but thanks again for being on, brother. We appreciate it.
No problem, man. Thank you and I appreciate it for having me, man. I'm honored. Thank you.